Hi and welcome back. This is Fia. Today I got something different for you. I have the luck of having a brother with more money than me. So he has gotten all the Mordenburg buildings, and the first ones he got was these ones. And we built all of these except this one, which I'm gonna build with you today and show you some tips and tricks and stuff that I've learned on the way. And I'm gonna show you some of the buildings in comparison, and you can see maybe size-wise and stuff like this. So I'm gonna start off showing you what I think is needed to build these houses, things to think about, little tips I've learned building. I built 4 of these houses, 2 big and 2 small so far, and to speed it up. And then I will probably fast forward a lot and just maybe do a talk over or something, and just give you the more like you need to think about this, or this is good to think about. So I'm gonna show you the kit, how it comes. So it comes like this, and I'm sorry you might see my head in the shot a bit, because it's pretty important to get all the pieces set up correctly. But it comes in a baggie like this, and with the sets, there are 4 baggies like this, of course with different things in it. It's a really nice, I have to say 4ground did an awesome job on these buildings. Tomorrow me and my brother is gonna try to do the inn, which I have been looking at for a long time. But you get instructions, and I have to say I like the instruction mostly. Some instructions are poorly written, and it takes a bit to figure it out on some of the houses. But I'll show you some tips and tricks. You get spruces. And it's really important to just keep an eye on all the bits and pieces. I usually sort them up before I get started into different types of pieces. Like, I know this is the thing you put outside on the walls to spruce them up. So these are like the last thing I do, so I put them to the side, and I just look through the pieces and see how they are looking, and see if there's something special I need to think about maybe, or something. And really important, read all the instructions first. Just look through all the instructions first before you do anything else other than looking at this. So I'm gonna go through and read the instruction, because this is the first time I've opened this kit, and then I'll start showing you what I start with, even though it doesn't say so in the kit every time. So I'll be back. Bye. Okay, hi again. I read the instruction. They seem pretty straightforward. So before I get started on the things that I usually start with, just to make it easier on myself, I'm going to show you what I think you need to do this nicely. You're going to need rubber bands. Different sizes is good. Different thicknesses is really good. You're going to need clamps, also different sizes, different widths, really good. Some sort of file. I use an ordinary nail file. Works great to get into tight spaces and stuff when it's a really tight fit. And then you have a couple different options of getting rid of glue residue. I usually use a lot of toothpicks. You can use cotton, I don't know what these are called, but you know. Or you can use, this is my brother's favorite way to do it, is having water and a brush and wiping the brush off so it's moist, and just wiping the glue off, the residual glue. And the number one tip I have for you is a fine tip applicator. This is a time saver, and if I didn't have this, I would probably just use a brush and have glue just dipping glue with the brush from a bowl, because I wouldn't know how to do this without it. So usually there's a couple things I start with. I usually do the door frames and doors. I do the top of the roof so it has time to set, and I do the chimney absolutely first. And this is just, I don't know, something I've figured out as I have been doing these. See if there is any tools. They usually have like little pokey tools on some of the sprues. And those I usually use just to get these ones. I usually use these only to get the pieces out of the spruce, and I'm going to show you in a sec here what I mean by that. So I'm going to start with the doors, and I've checked the instructions so I know which pieces I want. And as you can see here, there are some really, really thin pieces, so you got to be really careful when you take them out to not break them or screw them up. And I know on this build, this specific build, there are two doors I need to make. So I'm gonna get both door pieces out, or both door frames and doors and everything for the doors out. And it's also a good thing to have a bit longer nails, actually, because it helps with poking stuff out. And let's see, where do we have the doors? Oh, here they are. And they're exactly the same. And a good thing is, a tip when you are building this, is looking at the numbers and thinking of in what order they come up on your build. So I know the first door-like thing they usually want you to build is the doors. So it's probably gonna be the smaller number. I also know that these are like floor hatchets, and they have a special, see if I can get it to focus. They have a special type of handle, because this is the handle, with half of it cut off so it fits in like a frame. So I'm gonna need the door handles. Another tip is to dry fit everything before you glue them or just put them together. Just put them together and make sure that they fit the way they are supposed to fit. So if you need to, you can sand them and stuff. So, okay, we're gonna do 2 pairs of doors to start with. And I do these pieces first because they're a bit fiddly. I would do the floor hatchet as well. The problem is it has to be on the floor, and it's easier to build the structure first. Otherwise I would do them as well. So you just take your 2 door frames and you glue them together. And here is, I try to remember to always keep in frame, is where the needle tip is a godsend. It's just so helpful to have it. And since I built a couple of doors already, I kind of know how they go together. I'm just gonna dry fit this door handle because these have a tendency to either be super tight or loose. And this is super tight. So I just go in and I file down the areas that needs to be enlarged. And it's also super tight. Okay. So I glue this just before I start putting, so it has time to sit a bit. And it's pretty important to get like glue and stuff out so that it doesn't interfere, or excess glue I should say, so it doesn't interfere with the fitting of stuff. After you've done a couple of buildings, you will learn where it's super important and where it doesn't really matter that much. But it's always a good thing just to keep it nice and clean, even though you should absolutely use a glue that dries clear. And I just use ordinary wood glue. It's great for this actually. It dries pretty fast, but it still gives you the time to get it to move stuff around if you need to. And I see from this that there's supposed to be 2 doors going different ways. So I'm getting my both my door frames together, and you see it's so easy to snap. It's insane. I'm gonna switch the camera a little bit. It's insane how thin some of these pieces are. I don't even know how they were able to put these together. And also with the gluing, don't go overboard with it. You're just gonna be ending up cleaning a lot of it away. Less is more. Just try to get it where you actually need it, first and foremost. Okay. Next part, and that needs to go this way. Like so. And here is some tricky parts. These are really nice builds, as I said before, and they go together really nicely with like openable doors and stuff, but they are somewhat fiddly, some pieces. Okay, so here we got one door, and I'm gonna try to rubber band it I try to, where I can, always rubber band or clamp. As you can see, it's fiddly. Rubber band or clamp, or both, where I can, just to get that nice fit and make it dry correctly. Okay, let that dry, and I let that dry until I'm good and ready to get it put it where it's supposed to be. And this is just why I want to glue these in the beginning, since they are fiddly. You want them nice and dry when it's time to put them in. If they have any shifting, it might interfere with or might make it harder for you to put them in while you're building. Okay, so this works as well. And I'm sorry if I'm going out of frame. It's just I need to get closer to the pieces every now and then. I hope you get the gist anyways. It's not going to want to do that. Oh, and if, in case you didn't know, these are 28mm scaled buildings. So I'm gonna keep going, and because I'm gonna put you on pause now, put on some music or something, and probably just fast forward, and probably just talk if I see there is something strange or something you should think about while I'm building this. So, talk to you in a bit. Bye. Okay, so I'm back with a size comparison. Let's see if I can get the lighting a little bit better. Of the Mordenburg houses that we have built so far. We still have the tower, the blacksmith, the high street houses, some loose, and some fences, and the shack I think left to build. And I will give you about a rough time estimate. And this is a time estimate after you've built more than one house. I think this one, the first one I built took me almost 2 hours just to figure it out. The second one I built, it took me about an hour. So it goes, once you've figured out how they think and how to sort stuff out, in which way, how you can not follow the instructions exactly to make it go faster, it will go faster. So this is the smallest house, and it's a 1-floor house, and it looks like this, pretty simple, just a simple roof. This is the 2-story house, and this is one of my absolute favorites. I love the color of it. This is a 2-story house, as you can see, and everything that is openable is actually openable, and it's got a ladder to get it up to the 2nd story, and just a roof. And here we have Aragon for scale. And the house I built, which is the biggest of the dockside Mordenburg, which is a 3-story house. And as you can see, we just put the loose bits in, bottom, middle floor, top floor, and just the roof. Also really nice house. And since I filmed the building of the one I filmed, this one, we actually built this house. This one was for me, when I have built 2 of these houses, about a 1 hour 45 minutes build. This one, with 2 of us building it, this is the Stoic Arms. And there you see a 4 scale. And you see it getting bigger and bigger. It took us about 10.5 hours total in work. That saying, I'm a bit faster than my brother at building. He built the bottom floor, the big roof, and helped put together some of the chimneys, and I built the rest. But the bottom floor, to be honest, is also the most fiddly one. Because there's a lot of pieces that goes into it. And that one that I have on video, I think I'm saying it in the video, took me about 2.5 hours. And this is partly because I was really, really tired. I finished that video around 12:30 at night. And I just wanted it to be filmed before we started building this one. And I had a little bit of trouble with this one, to be honest. Of course, when you're filming, that's what happens. But it's fun. These are fun builds. They're fiddly. You have to... I would not start off building this one, to tell you the truth. It's a tough build. I would actually try to start with this, or maybe this. They're fiddly. You need to get the hang of it. So that's the size, and there you see my surf scale. And all the doors, I think there's like 16 doors or something in this build, and they all but 1 or 2 had to be built in the house. So this was a bit more of a hassle to build. But that was it, and I hope you enjoyed this odd video, and I'll try to come back and show you all the buildings when they are built. They are beautiful. And I'll see you next time. Bye.